Welcome, collectors. Thank you for joining me for this episode of Diecast Emporium. In today's video, we're going to be knocking out two models in one video. The first one that we'll be taking a look at is the Greenlight HD Trucks Series 19 2019 Stepvan. I believe this is the second color that's been released for this. The first version was the NYPD Highway Patrol Stepvan. And if you would like a closer look at that, well, you're going to see it in this video, but I also most recently did a NYPD collection video. So go ahead and take a look at the top of your screen right now. There will be a suggested link just about here where you can see all of the NYPD 1/64 scale vehicles that I have in my collection to date. Now, back to this model. As I said, this is part of Greenlight's HD Truck series. I believe they're on Series 19. If you look at the back of the box here, you can see the other two models that are in this series. You have an International Durastar ambulance outfitted in the NYPD ESU livery. You have the aforementioned FBI bomb technician's van, and then an AMR ambulance, which is also an International Durastar. So the packaging for this can be a little frustrating, and the reason that I say that is that once you open any Greenlight model, in fact, any model that really comes in a blister-style packaging, there's really no way to retain the value of the model because you do have to somewhat destroy the packaging to open it. But I've recently found at least a suitable way to open these so that when you're done, or you need to move your models, or you need to move your collection, you can at least put it back in the blister-style packaging for safekeeping. So I'm going to demonstrate that right now. So the first thing you need, obviously, is the model. Second thing you need is a X-Acto knife or a razor. We'll move the spinning table for just a minute. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut from here all the way around on the packaging. And the idea is to create some sort of a flip-up lip here. And we'll see just how well, if at all, this works out. In theory, because it has a lip here, what I've found is you can tuck this back down and it should stay. But let's see if it works. So allow me just a minute. I'm going to cut along the outside of the box. And again, while we're doing that, we'll talk a little bit about the model itself, being that it's advertised as an as a FBI bomb technician's van. In my experience, I've never seen an FBI bomb technician van, or what they would call technically the Weapons of Mass Destruction Disposal, or EOD, Explosive Ordnance Disposal vans. Those are usually more in like a box truck style, or even a heavy rescue style truck that you see typically today, because after 9/11, obviously the budget allowed for federal agencies to have pretty much whatever large style vehicle they wanted. So you don't see these step-on style vans, sidestep vans, hardly at all. Now, because the FBI obviously is the FBI, they could procure one, and if the situation required it, I'm sure that, you know, they could get one if they needed to. But in terms of a real-life application, I have never, ever seen an FBI step van. So, we have our little lip here, as you can see here. Let's see if this works. So let's pull this up a little bit more, pull this back. Here's our truck, or more specifically, our van. I'm going to take it out. Push this back down, just like that. And we'll bring our spinny table back into frame. There we go. And let's put our step van on top of it. So as I said, this came out, I believe last year it was a new release. Either last year or the year before. Not exactly sure. It's not licensed. They just offer it as a 2019 step van. There's no OEM associated with it. The first release was this one. Again, the NYPD Highway Patrol van. As you can see, it is exactly the same casting, just a different paint job. I do like the FBI black with the gold lettering. The only negative thing I have to say about it is just the fact that it's not particularly realistic. You wouldn't see this. Now, if they were to do a Durastar cab with an elongated new style rescue truck casting, that is extremely realistic. That is something that you would see today out in the field, that would be a welcome addition. This I'm not entirely completely sold on. But as far as the casting, the details go, once again, you have the lettering on the hood, FBI. You have FBI bomb technicians, which again, technically, that's not even correct. Even modern day, it would be more of EOD. You do have the Department of Justice Federal Bureau of Investigation logo on the door, which again is a bit dated. And you have 1965 back here, and then the rear doors, which do open. And at the bottom, it reads Bomb Technicians. So that's the first one I have to show you. It's a nice addition to your law enforcement collection if you're just looking to have an FBI vehicle for your diorama or display, although I cannot emphasize this enough. As someone who has studied law enforcement extensively at the highest level of law enforcement in this country, it's not at all realistic. All right, other one I have to show you. We're going to stray away from law enforcement and focus on really the other end of the emergency services. Here it is. SD Trucks Series 11. So the other series is HD for heavy duty. SD is super duty or severe duty trucks. Two completely different series by Greenlight. Series 11 has the 2018 International Workstar tanker truck, which is what this is. 2019 Mack Anthem truck cab in blue. And then a 2019 Mack Granite dump truck with an American flag on it. I added this one to the collection, obviously, because it's an FDNY, or Fire Department of New York livery. This is a truck that does exist as part of their fleet services. However, the cab that I have seen in person is a Mack Granite cab. And I believe if you go on the internet and you were to Google FDNY Fleet Services tanker truck, there's actually an image of that, which is pretty rare because you don't really get to see a lot of the FDNY Fleet Services vehicles. They're not... Well, they're just rare. You don't really see them in New York City too much. But the actual Fleet Services ultra-low sulfur diesel tanker truck does exist. And it would be out there, obviously, to service fire trucks in the field if they break down or if they bring it back to the repair shop. Whatever. There's a variety of different applications for a truck like this. However, with the fact that Greenlight has the license for Mack, I'm very surprised. I'm very surprised that they stuck an international cab on this and didn't go full authentic. But instead they went with an international cab, so it is what it is. So what I'll do now is we'll take a short break, because I really don't think you guys want to watch me open up another one of these, but when we come back, we'll have this opened on the spinny table, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, everyone, welcome back. I'm just about done unboxing the FDNY truck, but I did want to quickly show you that this also was available in the NYPD livery just a little while ago. In fact, it came out as part of their NYPD aviation unit. Again, if you want to see this truck and all of the other NYPD vehicles, please, by all means, check out that link that I provided at the beginning of this video, because there's some pretty cool Code 3 stuff in there, Greenlight stuff, and other squad cars and vehicles that are in my collection from various other manufacturers. Alright, so we finally have won the battle with the packaging. We have the truck out of the box, so let's move our NYPD one and put our FDNY one on. Now, to me, it doesn't matter what scale model I'm showcasing on the channel, or that I buy for my personal collection, or that I review. To me, the most important aspect of any scale model at any price point is the small details. And the one thing that Greenlight got right on here that I really like, obviously they missed the huge detail of the wrong style cab, but the green wheels for the front axle, that is exactly what it looks like on the real truck. I don't know why the green front axle wheels are green, but again, if you Google or if you're in New York City and you just happen to see this, the front wheels or the front hub is green while the rest are chrome. So I love that. That is a small detail that could have very easily been overlooked, yet it wasn't, so I like it a lot. All right, smaller details. Door, you have Workstar and the FDNY logo, which looks very good on here. Moving towards the back of the tank, you have FDNY Fleet Services ultra-low sulfur diesel, and then you have your chevron for diesel, 1203, number 3 underneath it. On the back, ladder's a little bit twisted there. Came out of the hole. There we go. You have FDNY Fleet Services once again to access ladders. I believe this back panel does open, but I am not going to force mine open on here. Moving towards the front, a little bit of paint chips straight out of the box, which is a bit disappointment. If you look up here, it's a bit disappointing to see that. As you can see, quite a bit of a paint scrape mark there. But other than that, pretty solid looking truck. For those, again, that want to see the underside, that's what the underside looks like with a nice lift axle in the carry position. Both this truck and its NYPD counterpart could have, of course, done with some emergency lights up on top of the cab, but overall, I think they make great additions to your 1/64 scale emergency fleet. But you guys let me know down in the comment section below, which of these will you be adding to your collection, and most importantly, should anybody from Greenlight actually come across this video in passing, what emergency vehicles, specifically in their truck line, that they could put in their HD trucks or their SD truck series would you like to see done in the future? I have a few ideas myself. I will save that for a future video. Until next time, I'm Tommy with Diecast Emporium. Thank you all so much for watching. Be safe, take care. I will see you in the next review.